Hey guys, it's Magic Gathering Matt here. Just wanted to hit you up with an unboxing of my Devour for Power I was telling you guys about. Just a quick little caveat, I am feeling kind of sick today, so sorry if my voice sounds a little grating. I got a cold, so. But anyway, got this on eBay. This thing doesn't go for very cheap anymore, but I really wanted to buy this. Green, blue, black are pretty much about my favorite multicolor, like 3 colors you can get, so I just wanted to get this for my EDH. I don't really play a lot of EDH, but I'm hoping to start playing a little bit more soon. So I was like, well, you know what, I'll make a really nice, because I have one now, it's not very good. And I was like, well, I'm going to make a nice one, So anyway, I'm going to unbox this, and then I am going to go through a series of videos, step by step, trying to improve it, about how, with like the mana base will be the first video, and then creatures and spells and things of that nature. So this first one, I'll just unbox everything for you guys. Okay, so we got the 3. So obviously you got your commander deck. And I'm pretty sure you can't use this while the sleeves are in it, or while your sleeves are on your cards, which is really annoying. But it's still a nice card storage box. Looks pretty cool. You got your commander cards here. Let's see if I can get this last one. Okay. Let's lower the camera. Sweet. Alright, so first one up, you got Damia, the Sage Stone. And this one, first off, I do like the foiling. These oversized cards are pretty cool. Just because, you know, they're just for fun. Like, if you're just, you know, playing EDH with your friends, you can just be like, bam, I got the biggest general. Pretty sweet. I do like that. And Damia is really, really good. I know a lot of people actually play her instead of the Mimeoplasm. Her ability is just insane. If you have fewer than 7 cards in hand, draw equal difference. I mean, ridiculous card advantage. She is very expensive, but if you can get ways to protect her through like different, you know, like lightning, greaves, stuff that gives you hexproof, this card is ridiculous. Vorash, he's probably the lamest of all the dragons that are in like all these commander decks. He is cool, sort of, but he's a much better just creature than a commander. Usually you want a commander that like affects the board state, or like affects, you know, the deck, and he doesn't. So, and obviously the deck is centered around this guy, Mimeoplasm, and very cool card. I'm a big fan of graveyard shenanigans. My old standard deck was a very tweaked Forbidden Alchemy deck back when I actually played standard before I returned to Ravnica and everything. And I really enjoy those kind of decks, you know, just dumping so many cards in your graveyard and using it as a hand. I'm a big fan of that, because, you know, I'm a big fan of blue and black, so. But this guy, yeah, as Mimeoplasm enters the battlefield, you may exile 2 creatures from the graveyards. And note that that's from any graveyard, so milling your opponents actually does benefit you. And if you do it, he enters the battlefield as one of those cards, with his power and toughness, and then additional +1/+1 counters on it equal. One of them, sorry, I misspoke. One of the cards you choose, he gets the +1/+1 counters for the power and toughness, and one of them he gets their ability. So, a new thing that just came out, and I'm just gonna, real quick, I'll talk about this much later, but Fathom Mage, dude, yeah, that works. You make him Fathom Mage, all those +1/+1 counters, draw 1,000,000 cards. So that's a pretty sick combo that came out with Return to Ravnica. I'm definitely going to be using it. But anyway, let's open up the deck. let's make sure my camera's Commander Devour for Power. I'm pretty excited to get this. Like I said, it wasn't cheap, but it's just this is just really cool. I don't know. You know, there's something about unboxing it that just makes it. And I actually got a pretty good deal on it. In fact, this was going for like, man, like already opened, this was going for like, I want to say like 80, 90, something ridiculous like that. And, you know, I got it for quite a bit cheaper than that. Alright, so these are your classic inserts that are in everything. I believe this is the how to play. Yep, this is the how to play. And that's in, I think, literally every Magic product that you buy. And this is specifically for the Commander deck, and I will look at this here actually at the end. Well, let's just see what it says a little bit. So it's talking about the Mimeoplasm, you know, that's the main Commander. Yeah, I'll look at this a little bit over at the end. Oh, there you go. So you can, it does have the deck list, which is really nice, so you could see everything, you know, because there is 100 things. And it tells you all of the lands. There's 40. So, okay. Cool. Alright, let's open this bad boy up. I know that's what everyone wants to see, including me. I wonder if I can actually, like... There we go. Okay. Here we are. So, the Mimeoplasm, of course, the General. Nezumi Grave Robber, and flips up to Night Eyes the Desecrator. That's a legendary. So, Kamigawa, it was a block that wasn't the most popular. Wasn't very easy to draft, I know. I wasn't playing during the time, but just due to all the legendary creatures, it was a very tough block. But it was a very cool concept, and it's hilarious because now in EDH, you know, it's pretty cool because you like legendary creatures. Alright, sorry, I'm getting, some person keeps texting me. Skullbriar, the Walking Grave. And yeah, I'm going to break down what these cards all actually do later, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about them in this. Riddle Keeper, whenever a creature enters attacker planeswalker you control, you mill a little bit. So again, this is what I was saying though about the milling. You know, you might want to do a little bit of milling to other people. Fleshbag Marauder. I mean, this guy can be pretty good, especially in EDH. Eternal Witness, very good card. Troll Ascetic, another really good card, a good target for your Mimeoplasm because they have the regeneration. A good target to copy him anyway. Yavimaya Elder, obviously, you need him for a graveyard-based deck. When Yavimaya Elder is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. If you do, shuffle your library. So, very nice. And you can just sacrifice them and draw a card, and then, obviously, then you also get 2 links. So, it's a nice card. Solemn Simacrum. I'm terrible at pronouncing this dude. But anyway, it's a good card. End of battlefield, you get a land. And graveyard, you get a draw card. So, Brawn. This card is obviously really good for these. So is Wonder. These two are really good for this deck because you want them in your graveyard. As long as they're in your graveyard and you control force, you get trample. As long as Wonder's in your graveyard and you own an island, you get flying. So, very nice card. Sewer Nemesis. I don't know how I feel about this card, so. Well, yeah, it's actually, I don't know, that's a pretty good card, but I've seen a lot of people try to say they don't like it as much, so. Gravedigger, important for this kind of deck. Olorgoyf, another good card for this deck, just because of the graveyard milling. Dreamborn Muse, this card is the mill queen. this gets out of hand really fast, especially when you add card advantage to, or at least extra card draw. I don't know how I feel about her, because she might mill too much, but we'll see. More Devour, obviously very important, good card in this kind of deck. Desecrator Hag, enters the battlefield, return to your hand the creature card in your graveyard with the greatest power. If 2 or more creature cards are for 4 for 2/2. I don't know. Mold Drifter, you know, this is a lot of people, you know, just evoke it. I know this is a pretty famous card. Evoke it, then you get to draw 2 cards, so it's like a 3 mana for draw 2 cards. Acidic Slime, obviously very nice. Enter the battlefield effect. I guess, I don't know if they're saying maybe you should use your Mimeoplasm on this, but there's better things to use. I don't know. Voltur's Same. Whenever a card is put in the opponent's graveyard from anywhere, put a +1/+1 counter on. Wow. Okay, that can get pretty out of hand pretty fast with this deck. Dark Hatchling, pseudo removal on a stick, kind of an enter the battlefield stick. But you know, if you have any kind of flickering too, that guy can be pretty nice. You know, it's kind of expensive, 6 mana basically for a kill, but you do get a 3/3 fire. I don't know. Extractor Demon. Whenever another creature leaves the battlefield, you may have target player put the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. I don't know how I feel about that guy. 6 mana. I mean, it is 6 for 5/5 flyer for just, so that's pretty good. But there's so many good cards, you know, in EDH that it's like the cards have to be really good to fit in your deck. So I don't know. Whenever Scythe Spectre deals combat damage to a player, each opponent discards a card. Each player who discarded a card with the highest converted mana cost among cards discarded this way loses life equal to that converted mana cost. Pretty nice. Pretty nice card. Rexiel the Risen Deep, I actually thought about potentially making a deck around him. I might still at some point. Island Walk, Swamp Walk, whenever he deals combat damage to a player, he may cast target instance of sorcery from that player's graveyard. And so that's really nice. And then exile it. It's one of those cards, you know, if you want to make an actual mill deck, like this deck isn't really a mill as much as it is like a self-mill type deck. I mean, you want to mill everyone too, kind of, a little bit, but this one would obviously be much more centered around milling. There's Varash, a flying dragon dude. I don't know how I feel about this card at all. Triscalavus, I think there's better to put in here, and I will talk about that when it comes. But he enters the battlefield with 3+1/+1 counters on it, and you can remove it and basically just keep. If you can do ways like proliferating and stuff like that. Keep giving him +1/+1 counters, you can just keep spawning millions of these little 1/1s, which can be nice. But Slipstream Eel can't attack unless if any player controls an island, but he does have cycling. I don't know, probably take that guy out. Butcher of Malakir. This guy's pretty good. 7 mana for 5/4 flying. Whenever he or another creature you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Very nice. Patron of the